Okay, tonight guys, we're gonna make a simple quesadilla recipe. I'm gonna start off with my chicken. I've already just marinated my chicken in some seasonings. This is chicken breast tenderloin. You use whatever seasonings of your choice. I used a little bit of Larry's low sodium seasoning salt, Italian seasoning. I also used a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of onion powder, and a little bit of paprika. I've got my green pepper and onions to slice so that I could cook them. I've got my flour tortillas. I'm using the small ones. Now you can use the bigger ones for bigger tortillas, but I'm just using, for bigger quesadillas, but I'm just using the small ones. I've got some Velveeta cheese, which is a low calorie cheese, the shredded kind. So like 1/4 cup is only 60 calories. And then I have a Fiesta blend shredded cheese for my husband and my son quesadilla, because I'm trying to stick to the healthier side of it. And I have a little bit of salsa for the side. And so let's get started. So the first thing I have done is wash my green pepper. I'm going to cut the stem off, and I'm going to cut the stems off my small onions. So I'm going to start off by cutting the stems off my small onions. And just move all that to the side. And then I'm going to cut the stem off of my pepper. So I'm going to set that to the side. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and get my chicken started. I've already heated up some oil, 2 tablespoons of canola oil on the eye. I've had that heating for about 5 to 7 minutes because I like my oil to be hot so that my meat can start cooking, because you don't want to cook your chicken too long. You don't want it to dry out. So I put my chicken on. Now I'm going to go back to slicing my vegetables. Now you can slice your vegetables however you so please, whatever suits your liking. And while I'm slicing up these vegetables, I'm also heating up 1 tablespoon of canola oil to cook these vegetables in. So I'm going to cook the onions and the green pepper together. And I'm going to add a little bit of minced garlic to that. Then once my chicken is done cooking, I'm going to shred my chicken. Like right before it's totally done, I'm going to shred it. And I'm going to combine my vegetables with my chicken. And then I'm going to put my quesadilla together. There's going to be oil left over in the skillet from my vegetables, and that's the skillet I'm going to cook my quesadillas in. And I'm going to show you all of that process. So I'm not really caring how I'm cutting these green peppers up, because it's just going to be mixed in with my chicken. So I'm kind of cutting them just small, like, you know. For my onion, I have a technique that I like to use. If you've been watching my channel, you've probably seen me do that technique in another of one of my videos. And one lady said she likes how I cut the onion in my hand. So I'm going to just take my green pepper that I've sliced up, and I'm just going to set it to the side in a bowl. For my onions, I'm going to take my onion and I'm going to cut it vertically into slices. I sliced about 5 times vertically. Then I'm going to turn my onion so that my vertical lines become horizontal, and then I'm going to cut vertical again. And when I do this, it's going to allow me to mince my onions easily. So I'm going to take my knife and go straight across like this, and now my onions become bits. And that's just a quicker and easier way that my mom taught me how to dice onion up. And I've always found it the best way. And this is just how I do it. It works for me. I mean, of course you have to have a steady hand to do so. So you see how my onion is already minced up? I mean, I have some pieces that I didn't let the knife take through, but for the most part it's all chopped and minced up. And I can just add this to the green pepper. Because my onions were so small, I'm doing 2 onion instead of 1 like I normally would. So I'm just doing 2 onion. I'm just gonna add this onion to my green peppers, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with this onion. So this is what my chicken is looking like. I'm getting ready to turn it over, and then in this skillet I have onion, green pepper, and minced garlic, and I'm gonna add some seasoning to it. So what I'm going to add to it, because it's important that you season your vegetables so they can also have some flavor to them, is I'm going to use a little bit of this Cajun seasoning, just a little bit. See? Then when I stir it up, I'm stir real well. Now you can add black pepper, but this mixture is going to be combined with this mixture, so I don't want to over season it. I'm just making Mexican rice back there, but I'll have another video on my channel about that soon. So now I'm just going to flip my chicken, and I'm going to cook it on this side for about 3 minutes. And it's so soft and tender and juicy that it's going to be easy for me when I get ready to shred it. I'm going to use 2 forks, and I'm just going to shred it, pull it apart using the 2 forks, and I'll show you how I do that. So I'm going to cook this 3 minutes. I'll flip my chicken. These are going to be stir frying over here, and then we're going to combine it all. Okay, so my chicken has been cooking for about 3 minutes on the other side. So now what I'm about to do is start shredding it. And it's just going to come apart like so. Just real easy. And once I do all of this, I'm going to add my onion and green pepper mixture into this. Let it cook for about 2 more minutes so that all the flavors can combine. And then I can start building my quesadilla. And you can shred your chicken however small you like. I like mine shredded finely, like you would like pork tenderloin or something, or pulled pork. Kind of how you want to shred your chicken, because you want your quesadilla to be flat, of course, because it is a quesadilla. So just pulling my chicken apart like so. No real technique, nothing extreme that you have to do. I mean, you could even take this off the eye and put it in a food processor, like put the chicken in that food processor whole, give it a spin, and it'll dice it right on up for you, and then you can just add it back to your skillet. But that's too much work, too many dishes to wash, and I like to clean my dishes and clean my area as I go, so I'm not trying to make more of a mess for myself. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Just pulling my chicken apart like so. So I'm going to keep pulling this chicken apart. I'm going to add my onion mixture and get my skillet that I use for my onions and peppers prepared to cook my quesadillas in. And all I'm going to use to cook the quesadilla is some cooking spray, because I've already used oil for my chicken and for my vegetables, so I don't want to use any more oil. So now I've mixed my peppers, my onion into my shredded chicken mixture. It's been cooking together for about 2 minutes. I have my stove set on medium low. So for my oven, well, my stove, it's 3. And now I'm going to start building my quesadilla. So there was some leftover oil in my small skillet for the first quesadilla, so I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to spray it with canola oil. So the first thing that I'm going to do is lay a quesadilla, well, a tortilla, and this is the small kind. If you wanted to do it even lower, with lower calories, you could always use corn tortillas. I don't like corn tortillas when I do my quesadillas, so I'm just doing it the way that I prefer. And I do normally like to add like mushrooms and other veggies to my quesadilla, like red pepper, yellow pepper. But I'm just using what I have. It's always to use what's on hand. And I'm just adding my chicken to my quesadilla, making sure that it's staying flat. Then I'm going to sprinkle cheese on top of the chicken mixture. Then I'm going to add another tortilla. And I add about 1/4 cup of cheese, not very much. So I'm going to add my cheese on top of my chicken mixture. And you're going to cook this as if you were cooking a grilled cheese. But because this is a little bit bigger and it's round and not square like your typical sandwich, you got to be careful in your flipping. So I put the top on there. I'm going to let it cook on this side, and then I'm going to flip, let the cheese melt through the tortilla for the other side, and then we plate it up. A technique that I found to flipping the quesadilla easily is using like a wide spatula. So this spatula is just about as wide as the quesadilla because I'm using small tortillas, like I said. So using a wide spatula helps. And then kind of holding the quesadilla while you flip. So I've already flipped it. I'm letting it cook on this side. I'm going to slice it down the middle, across, and diagonal. And that's going to give me 6 pieces of quesadilla. So yeah. And this is the final product. Homemade quesadilla. And my husband made us some homemade guac, so I'm going to add a little bit of that. If you like a recipe for our homemade guac, just leave us a comment down below. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Thank you for watching.